Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday. I hope that y'all are doing well. My name is Idara. I'm really excited to bring you today's pro tips. And I really hope that y'all are having a great day. I am looking at both chats, both YouTube and Behance. So if I look to my left, I'm trying to make sure I am interacting with y'all. But I haven't seen you guys in so long. So I'm really excited. We're going to be talking about the adjustment brush tool, the selection brush tool in Photoshop. And I'm really excited. We don't have much time. So we're going to go ahead and hop into Photoshop. If you have any questions for me, be sure to drop them in the chat. I will make sure I see them. I see all my friends. I see Carol, General, Sean. I see Val. What is up, y'all? Oh my goodness, this is so much fun. So welcome, you guys. We're going to be talking about the adjustment brush tool and how you can utilize it when it comes to editing. If you don't know what the adjustment brush tool, it's a new tool that was added, I want to say a few months ago, I want to say around June. This new tool was added to Photoshop. And I like to think of this tool as a way to just simplify your workflow as a photographer, right? So when you're thinking, I'll show you kind of examples of what it looks like without using it and what it looks like using the brush tool. But to first start off, if you don't have this tool added to your toolbar, you can come over here to the three dots, right click, edit toolbar, and you'll see it right now. Where is it? It's right here. For me, adjustment brush tool, but it was originally when I first installed it, it was somewhere down in the bottom here. So I just moved it to where I wanted it to be, click done. And right now the tool is up here. So, oh, hi, Robert, how you doing? Um, so it's right here. If you click on it, you'll see that you have your brush. And then you also will see that here at the top, you have the adjustments. And then you'll also see adjustments right here. These are just a different adjustment layers, similar to what you already have over here, what we're used to kind of using to find our adjustments. Now, before I kind of go into the tool, I want to talk a little bit about this photo and how I really got here when it came to editing this shot. I shot this photo, actually the whole shoot was, the whole concept of the shoot was put together by a friend of mine who kind of just created a space where we can come and shoot and find inspiration, which is really great. It's really great when you have friends that can help you with that, because I have been in the gutter when it comes to inspiration for new projects. But I have this portrait. I really love how colorful it is. If y'all know me, I am really big on color. And so I love the color in her dress, the color in her hair, the color in the backdrop. So I just figured this would be a really great example for this new tool to show you how you can edit these different colors with the tool. So the first thing that I have, this was the original image that I had imported into Photoshop. The only thing I think I did in Lightroom was I did add a color profile, which I want to say was the vivid color profile. I was going to pull it up, but that's the only thing that I did there. And then I sent it over to Photoshop. And then you'll see here, I have a lot of generative fills because I did not like this backdrop situation. I did not like it at all. I wanted to get rid of it. I wanted to see how I could extend up the backdrop. And so I believe what I did was a combination of three things. So it was a combination of cloning the colors of the backdrops up. So literally taking just a quick example. This isn't what we're mainly talking about today, but I want to show you all real quickly. Just taking this and trying to clone up. That's a really bad example, but trying to take the colors and clone up as much as I could. And then I would use generative fill to see if it'll help me kind of clean up the backdrop. And then the other thing that I did was I used another image that I had for the set where her head was a little bit lower and there was more of the backdrop above her head. I placed it on top to kind of see how I could extend those the curtains in the back as well. So you'll see here, this is how I was able to do it, just so y'all can see how we got here. So this is with the photo that I added. I kind of added one on top and colored in, and then I used generative fill to kind of clean up it a bit more. So now we are here in our photo, the backdrop, it looks like what we want it to look like. I love the colors, and now I want to edit. So what I used to do is if I'm utilizing, let's say I want to edit a specific color in this photo. Maybe let's say I want to edit the reds in this photo because I love her hair, but maybe I want to change the shade of red. I would come down here to my adjustment layers, click on selective color. I'm going to bring this up here. And you can see how everything is selected, right? So any adjustments that I am making to my photo, it is making it to every place every single portion of the photo, right? So you can see like her face, and I'm going to turn off this overlay real quickly, just so you guys can see. And I'm going to zoom in. Bam, you can see like her face is turning red, the color in the background, it's picking up all of the reds in the photo, which I do not want. So what I used to do was I would invert this layer, if I can, and then I would come in with my brush tool, and I would, just my regular brush tool, and I would paint in where I want it. Oh, make sure this is on black. And then I would paint it. Sorry, no, I did that right the first time, right? I always forget. Yes, I would paint in where I would want the adjustment to show up. So it's very slight on the hair. You can't really see it. I'm trying to see if I can make something more dramatic here. Okay, you can kind of see with that yellowish tint that's in there. Okay, right? So that's what you had to do previously. Now, and this is that before and after, not impacting the rest of the photo. Now you have an adjustment brush tool. So what you can do instead of doing that is, and I'm going to put this overlay back on. I lost where it is, my eyes. Okay, let's do this. Let's come over here. I have my brushes. I'm going to click on adjustment brush tool. I'm going to click on overlay so I can see what I'm doing. And come down here so I can create a new, let's delete this layer right now. We don't need this. Come back down here and you'll see that you have all your adjustments. So I clicked on my brush. The next thing that I'm going to do is click the adjustment that I want to start off with. So I'm going to click on selective color and I'm going to go ahead and start to paint. And it's going to create that adjustment layer for me. So you can see it right here. Let me move this out the way. You can see it right here. I'm going to move it to the top, that this is the adjustment layer that popped up. And I'm just kind of brushing in the portion that I want to change. And this is nice because it just kind of saves you a step when it comes to your editing. I like to use the adjustment layers that I usually like to use are selective color, hue and saturation, sometimes brightness and contrast. And so those are some of the aspects that I like to utilize. And so I'm going to come in and just clean and it's a little messy. The one thing, especially with curly hair, it's, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a kinky hair girl. But editing our hair sometimes can be a little difficult. Okay, cool. So now I have that, and then I can come in here and I can make the adjustment, and it's happening just to her hair. Obviously, I have some cleanup to do because her hair is a bit frizzy. So you're seeing that it is spilling onto the backdrop, but this is a lot easier than just what it was previously. So let's say I wanted to do that, and let's leave that alone. So let me zoom out real quickly because we a little bit too much up in there. And that's the before and that's the after of her hair utilizing that adjustment brush tool. Now let's say I want to change maybe the color of the yellow in the backdrop. Let's see, let's go and let's play around with hue and saturation now. So I'm going to go back here and show y'all what this would look like previously. Hue and saturation, obviously now we have a selection of the entire photo. Let's come to yellows, and as I am, I need to move this up. I'm like, why can't I see anything? Because it's not up. So you can see that this is making the adjustment to everywhere on the photo. Again, this is a dramatic example, but I just want y'all to see how it's impacting everything, right? So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to come back here, come back to my adjustment brush tool and click on the next adjustment that I want to make. So now we're going to click hue and saturation. And then let's say I want to focus on each of these curtains individually. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Every headshot of mine, please know it took 90% of effort to edit my head. Val, girl, you understand. Because the one thing when it comes to natural hair, curly hair, kinky hair, it is just so tedious. And I love my hair. I do. Okay. You can see it's in a little puff right now. But if I were going to take some headshots and I got some hairs going every single way, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. So I clicked on hue and saturation and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to start to brush in this yellow curtain. And let's say we want to do like, each individual curtain, because why not? Ooh, we're getting on the the other one, but that's all right. This is the quick version, so y'all can see what this looks like. All right, cool. Bam. So now that I did that, I released, and there is my new adjustment layer right there. And you guys would notice that when I'm doing that, I should probably have merged this so I don't have to keep dragging on top, but that's fine. I want to keep all of my layers. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to start to edit this color. So maybe I want it to look more of like, I don't know, like an orangey. What do we feel like? Ooh, that's a little too bright. That's a little too much. Let's make it brighter. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Turn this overlay off so you can see the before and the after. Like, come on now. So we were able to kind of target that specific curtain. Now let's say I want to move to the pink. What the cool part is that you can just come back here, click on whatever layer you want. Ooh, make sure I am. Let's do hue and saturation again, and I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, my computer is lagging a little bit. Sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on. And we're going to come in here. Oh, I turned off overlay. I was like, why can't I see it? Because you turned off overlay, girl. You're not going to be able to see it. And then the other cool thing is that you'll realize here that as this was one swipe that I made with my brush and then I released, I can keep coming here and keep brushing. So you can keep adding to your selection, which is really nice. So I'm going to come in here with this color. We're going to get into her hair just a little bit. We love the curly head girls. Let's see. Val said, I love my curls, but I wish I wish I could Photoshop them in real life sometimes. Girl, same. Absolutely. So I'm going to come down here. Let's get this pink. Would you guys call this a pink? It's pink, right? Yeah, it is pink. No, it's not like mauve, is it? Okay. So let's go ahead and turn the overlay off so you can see. So this is what we did with the yellow. Now we're on the pink and we can kind of make the adjustments here. And again, you're seeing that it's not impacting the rest of the photo. It is just impacting this specific portion. So maybe I wanted to let's see. Can I click on this? Will it let me? My mouse. Okay, there we go. Maybe I wanted to deepen or brighten it a bit. And that was just all I wanted to do there. And increase the saturation a little bit. Do I want to change the hue? Let's just leave it like that. Before and after. Now we can come over here to the orange and do the exact same thing. So we're going to come here, click down here. Let's say instead of hue and saturation, I want it to do, let's say, let's do, I'm indecisive. Let's go back to selective color because that's my bestie. Me and selective color are like this. We really get along. We go together real bad, you know? Let me turn that overlay back on so I can see what I am doing. Okay, I'm gonna come down here, get a little bit of this. I'm not gonna worry about the little bit that's peeking through her dress. I think I'm just gonna leave that alone. And then I'm gonna drag this up here. And then with my reds, turn off this overlay. And you can see that now we're impacting that. So y'all let me know in the chat, is this a tool that y'all have added to your workflow at all? Let me know. I personally am trying to use it more just because sometimes you get stuck in your old ways, you get stuck in your old habits, and you're just I just find myself doing things the long way. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I can do this a lot quicker. So that's one thing that I will say that I am trying to utilize it a bit more. So let me turn this on. The other thing sometimes I like to do is bring down the opacity. If I feel like we're doing a little too much, which I want you guys to see this all because of demonstration purposes. But if I feel like we're doing a little too much, I'll bring down the opacity just a bit, especially with this hair. It's a lot. We didn't need all that. We really didn't even want to do anything to her hair, but I just wanted y'all to see what I was doing. Ooh, Val said I will be adding it. Yes, girl, add it to your workflow. It just makes things a bit easier. And one thing that I like time not wasted. Sean, you're also adding it. I like time like not wasted. So if I can skip a few steps, if I can target specific colors, especially in my work is very, very colorful. And sometimes I'm shooting, if I'm shooting and I'm editing, I just want to skip all those steps. And I just want to be able to edit specific colors. Maybe the backdrop that I bought or I'm using isn't the color that I maybe want, and then I want to make specific adjustments to it. I just like that I have a bit more control here. So there we go. And then you also have the option, let's say, what's another example? Brightness and contrast. Maybe I felt she was a little too bright, just in the face, just a wee bit, just a wee bit. All right, I'm going to make this brush a wee bit smaller. And again, you come in here and just make the adjustments, or excuse me, just brush it in. Ooh, trying to do this with a mouse. Sometimes, are y'all mouse people? Do you like to use your mouse when it comes to editing? Because sometimes it's just not as like controlled as I like it to be. It's my main way of editing, but I don't know. You guys let me know. Okay, that is obviously way too bright. We're just gonna, so if I wanted to do anything there, increase the size, I don't want to, but I just want y'all to see another example of what that could look like if you wanted to do that. Obviously, I don't want to do that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and group all of these. I use the mouse for graphic design only. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that because using it for anything else, not a fan, not a fan. Awesome. And then also the great part too is that you can use this tool in combination with, you can use a tool in combination with the other ways that you use to make specific adjustments. So if I wanted to go back and let's say I wanted to make an overall adjustment to this portrait, maybe I want to come in and add some blacks, I can still go back and do that the way that I usually would do that. And actually, let me move this up here so I can actually see what I'm doing. Sometimes I like to add blacks to my portraits or focus on the blacks where I can add colors to the blacks in the photo. It just sometimes makes like a really cool vibe, and I will like go the most extreme and then obviously bring down the opacity so it's just like really, really, really subtle. For painting and editing, I use a stylus. I have one. Okay, let me not even act like I don't have one. I do have one. Do I use it? No. And that is my problem. Y'all, I be so stuck in my old ways. And I just know I want to do something like different and try something different. So I'll buy the tools for that and then I won't use them. That's my toxic trait. General said you must use what you feel is right, of course. Yes. So this, I mean, I even though I'm complaining about it right now, clearly I don't want to change it because I'm still using my mouse, but it still feels, I guess, more right than other tools. So yeah, this is again, using the same selective color, but again, applying it to the entire photo. So you have two different options. If you're just making adjustments that are going to be applied everywhere, you don't have to utilize the adjustment brush tool because you're editing it, it's impacting the entire photo. But if you're trying to target specific areas, colors, the hair, backdrop, or maybe specific components of your portrait, you can kind of focus in a little bit more and use that brush tool to brush in the areas that you want to edit to make and add those adjustments too. So it's really cool in that regard and just gives you a bit more control. And who doesn't like control? Come on now. In good ways, we like good control. Okay, so I'm going to bring down this a bit more. And then I'm going to come, let's see, what do we have? Let's look at what we've done so far. Can y'all see that difference? Yeah, I can. Hopefully y'all can also see it. Maybe I need to zoom in a little bit so y'all can see it. Let's go into 50. Ooh, we up close and personal before and after. So you can see the red, the yellow, pink, orange, red in the backdrops, how we've impacted that. Her hair as well. And again, this is also, let's zoom back out a little bit. There is an alarm going off behind me. I think my brother left his phone in the room, y'all. And it is buzzing and it's irritating me. I hope you guys can't hear that. Uh, but okay, cool. So let's see, what else do I want to do? We're almost to the end of this stream. Let's see if we can make any other adjustments to this photo. I also have another photo from the set that actually I want to show y'all. This is another photo from the set where again we're playing around with color. So let's just see how far we can get with editing this photo. Let's see. Let's make some general adjustments. No, let's just keep using the tool because why not? That's why we're here today, right? So adjustment brush tool. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Val, we're not hearing it. Thank you so much. It's just like duh, duh, duh. Okay, so let's do hue and saturation because why not? These colors in the background are not really it. And I just want to do, instead of them doing them individually like we were doing before, let's just do them all collectively. And you know what? Let's see. If I click the apply to object and I click on, oh, hold on. I messed up here. Adjustment brush tool. Let's see if it will let me select the background like I want to. Okay. It's not fully letting me select it the way I want to, but I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to paint in the backdrop. I'm going to click on overlay so I can see what I'm doing again. That's always important. I always turn it on and off because it just gets distracting at a certain point, but it is important. I am going to make this brush a little bit smaller, but yeah, so I'm going to come in here and paint my backdrop in because that's all I want to edit. So we're just going to get a general, let's make this brush a little bit smaller. And we got about 3 minutes left, y'all. We're going to do it. We are going to do it. We are going to do it. So I'm just going to come in here. It doesn't have to be perfect, Idara. Let's just get in here as much as we can. All right, cool. So now I'm going to turn this off. You can already see that it is already, the one thing I also like about the adjustment brush too is like when you do utilize it, it is going to automatically apply some kind of adjustment to it. So that way you can just see the difference there. And then I can go back, of course, and make some adjustments to that and kind of put it where I feel is best. I actually really liked it where it fell before, but again, you can see as I'm moving my hue and saturation up, I am only impacting the background. I am not impacting the rest of the photo. And then you can also see here that the spots that I did miss, I can come in here and just keep adding to my selection, which I think is really great to have that control. And you can add, remove all of the things. If I needed to remove, I can click here on the black and then I can remove as well in case I did a little bit too much. So you do have that option as well. So I'm just going to come in and cleaning these little spots. Obviously, I got her hair, but it's all right. You know what? We talked about the curly hair earlier. Clean up here. Beautiful. All right. And then I'm going to click off this over. Oh, no, the overlay is not. I thought, not me thinking I changed my overlay to blue and I'm forgetting that I put the hue and saturation all the way down there. All right, cool. So I'm going to bring this up, this down a bit. And then there is our before and after. So again, I personally really love this tool. I think that is a really great way to impact your workflow in a way that is a bit more straight to the point and remove some of those steps that you had before. And also like you can utilize the brush tool when it comes in ways that work with the current workflow that you already have too. So don't feel like you have to change it completely. I just like that Photoshop is giving us more options. I am a queen of options. I like that there's not just one way to do things. There's multiple ways. So if this works for you and you feel like it'll be beneficial to your workflow, I do want to encourage you to utilize it. And again, let's look at the before and after of this portrait. So this was what we brought into Photoshop. This was with some gen fill and cloning to kind of extend out that backdrop. And then, we don't need this one. This was a previous edit I had. And then this was with the adjustment selection, the adjustment brush tool to kind of make those specific selections and target the colors. And then just what we were doing here real quickly, just to kind of get a bigger example of the backdrop, you can see there that before and after when we made the adjustment on just the backdrop so we can kind of edit the curtains and not our subjects. So I hope that y'all enjoyed today's stream. If you have any questions, please do reach out to me. I am always here to answer. I really, really appreciate you guys, General Val, Sean, all of my friends in the chat. Until next time, please do stay tuned. We do have a bunch of more streams following mine today. So I will see y'all later, and thank you. Bye.